The Galactic Council had been watching humanity for 300 years. They had observed their slow crawl from a small blue planet to their first colonies on Mars and Europa. They had laughed at their primitive fusion engines and their simple steel hulls. When humans finally made contact with the wider galaxy, every alien race agreed on one thing. Humans were weak. Their technology was centuries behind. Their ships looked like floating garbage compared to the elegant vessels of the Empire or the massive dreadnoughts of the Dominion. But there was one human ship that made no sense to anyone who encountered it. The vessel was called the Persistent. It was small, barely 200 meters long. Its hull was covered in patches and welding marks. The paint was faded and scratched. Its engines looked like they belonged in a museum. When it appeared on sensors, most alien captains laughed. Some didn't even bother raising their shields. Commander stood on the bridge of the Persistent and smiled. She had heard the laughter many times before. She had seen the confident alien faces turn to confusion and then to terror. She knew what her ship really was. The Persistent was not what it appeared to be. 3 years ago, the Empire had decided that humanity needed to be taught a lesson. They sent a fleet of 12 warships to the human colony on. They were known for their plasma cannons and their energy shields that could stop any weapon. They expected an easy victory. The Persistent was the only human ship in the system that day. Colony defense forces begged Commander to retreat. They laughed when they saw the small, ugly ship moving toward them instead of running away. The battle lasted 4 minutes. When it was over, 11 ships were floating debris. The 12th managed to send a distress signal before it exploded. The message was simple and filled with fear. The humans, they are not what we thought. No one believed the message at first. The High Command sent investigators to find out what had really happened. They found nothing but wreckage and energy signatures they could not explain. The Persistent had already jumped away, leaving behind only questions and dead ships. The truth about the Persistent was humanity's greatest secret. 50 years before first contact, human scientists had made a discovery that changed everything. They had found a way to bend the fundamental laws of physics. They had learned to manipulate gravity itself, to fold space, and to generate energy from nothing. The technology was so advanced that it made every other weapon in the galaxy look like a child's toy. But humanity had learned something important from watching old movies and reading ancient war histories. They understood the value of being underestimated. The human government made a decision. They would hide their true power. They would build ships that looked primitive on the outside but contained technology that could destroy stars. They would act weak and confused when dealing with alien races. They would let the galaxy laugh at them. The Persistent was the first of these hidden warships. Its ugly exterior hid weapons that could tear through any shield, engines that could outrun light itself, and armor that could survive the heart of a sun. Commander had been chosen to lead it because she understood the mission perfectly. Look weak, act scared, and when enemies attacked, end them completely. The incident was just the beginning. Word spread through the underground channels of the galaxy. Whispers moved from station to station, from trader to trader. Something was wrong with that ugly human ship. Pirates who attacked it disappeared without a trace. Slavers who tried to capture human colonists were found as frozen corpses floating in space. Enemy scouts who followed the Persistent never reported back. The Dominion decided to test these rumors. They were the most powerful military force in the known galaxy. Their dreadnoughts were the size of small moons. Their warriors had conquered 1,000 worlds. They sent their most advanced ship, the Devastator, to find the Persistent and destroy it. Admiral of the stood on his command deck and watched the small human ship appear on his sensors. He was a veteran of 50 campaigns. He had never lost a battle. The Persistent looked like something his cleaning drones could destroy. "Open a channel," Admiral commanded. His voice was deep and confident. Commander's face appeared on the screen. She looked nervous and scared. Her hands seemed to shake slightly. "Please," she said, her voice trembling. "We don't want any trouble. We are just a cargo vessel. We have nothing of value." Admiral smiled. His sharp teeth gleamed in the light. "Human, your lies are pathetic. We know about the incident. We know your ship destroyed 11 warships. You will surrender now or you will die." His face showed fear. "That was a misunderstanding. Our weapons malfunctioned. We never meant to hurt anyone. Please let us go. We are just simple humans." The Admiral laughed. It was a deep, rumbling sound that echoed through the bridge. "Simple humans indeed. Your act does not fool me, Commander, but it does not matter. My ship has enough firepower to destroy a planet. Your tricks will not save you today." He cut the communication and gave the order to fire. The Devastator's main cannon was a marvel of engineering. It drew power from a captured star and focused it into a beam that could melt mountains. The weapon took 30 seconds to charge. Every crew member on the bridge watched as the energy built up, creating a glow that could be seen from light years away. The beam fired. It crossed the distance between the ships in less than a second. It struck the Persistent directly in the center of its hull. The energy was enough to destroy a continent. The Persistent didn't even move. Admiral stared at his sensors. The readings made no sense. The human ship should have been atoms scattered across space. Instead, it was sitting there, completely undamaged. Not even its paint was scratched. "Impossible," he whispered. Commander's face appeared on the screen again. But this time, she wasn't acting scared. She was smiling. Her eyes held a look that Admiral had never seen before. It was the look of a predator who had been playing with its food. "Admiral," she said calmly, "in human history there was a strategy called playing possum. An animal would pretend to be dead to lure in predators. Then it would strike when they least expected it." The Persistent began to change. Panels on its hull slid open, revealing weapons that glowed with impossible energy. Its engines flared with light that hurt to look at. The ugly patches and scratches seemed to fade away, revealing armor that shimmered like liquid silver. "Your species looks at humanity and sees weakness," continued. "You see our small bodies and our short. You see our primitive-looking ships and our slow expansion. But you never ask the important question." Admiral tried to give orders to retreat, but his ship systems were not responding. Something had taken control of them. Why would a species that survived ice ages, plagues, and nuclear weapons? Why would a species that clawed its way up from nothing? Why would they show their real strength to strangers? The crew watched in horror as their greatest warship powered down around them. Lights flickered. Weapons went offline. Shields collapsed. They were helpless, trapped inside their own vessel. "We have been watching this galaxy for a long time, Admiral. We know about the empires that rose and fell. We know about the strong who crushed the weak without mercy. We learned from your history, and we decided that when we entered this galaxy, we would never be the weak ones. We would only look like the weak ones." The Persistent moved closer. It seemed to glide through space without effort, its movements more graceful than any ship that had ever seen. "They attacked our colony. They planned to enslave our people, so we ended them. Every pirate who hunted human ships, every slaver who took our citizens, every military force that tested us. We ended them all. Not because we enjoy killing, but because we want the galaxy to understand something." Commander leaned forward. Her smile was gone now. Her face was serious and cold. "Humanity is not prey. We never were. We are the species that hunted mammoths with wooden spears. We are the species that split the atom and walked on the moon. We are the species that looked at the stars and said, 'Those belong to us.'" Admiral found his voice. "What do you want?" "We want peace," said. "Real peace. We want trade and cooperation. We want humanity to join the galactic community as equals. But every time we tried diplomacy, your empires laughed at us. They sent warships instead of ambassadors. They sent threats instead of treaties. She paused. So we decided to show you what happens when you threaten us, not all at once. That would cause panic and war. But slowly, one ship at a time, one battle at a time, we let you attack us. We let you see our weakness. And then we show you our strength. The Devastator's sensors came back online briefly, long enough for the crew to see what the persistent scanners were revealing. The ugly human ship contained technology that shouldn't exist, weapons that broke the laws of physics, engines that could cross the galaxy in hours, armor that could survive anything. And according to the data, the Persistent was the smallest and weakest ship in the human fleet. "Go back to your Dominion," Commander said. "Tell them what you saw. Tell them that humanity offers friendship to those who treat us with respect. And tell them what happens to those who don't." The ship's systems came back online. Admiral gave the order to retreat immediately. As the Devastator jumped away, every member of its crew knew that the galaxy had changed forever. The Persistent returned to its patrol route. Its hull shifted back to its ugly, patched appearance. Its weapons disappeared behind worn panels. Its engines dimmed to their normal, primitive-looking glow. Commander sat back in her chair and sighed. "Log the encounter, send the report to command, and get me some coffee." Her first officer brought her a cup. "Do you think they'll listen this time?" Shrugged, "Maybe, maybe not, but eventually they all learn. The weak-looking ship that ends every enemy. That's not a legend, it's a warning, and warnings only need to work once." She looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, they were telling stories about what they had seen. Somewhere, survivors were whispering about the day their fleet died. Somewhere, pirates and slavers were learning to avoid ships with human markings. Humanity had waited a long time to join the galaxy. They had prepared carefully. They had hidden their true power behind smiles and old-looking ships. And now, one battle at a time, they were teaching the universe a simple lesson. Never judge a book by its cover, especially when that book belongs to humanity. The Persistent continued its journey through the stars, weak, ugly, harmless, and absolutely deadly to anyone foolish enough to attack it.